Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. This time a review of set 75449, the Siege of Mandalore Battle Pack. It has 116 pieces, 4 figures, retails for $23, and it came out this year as part of the January wave of Lego Star Wars. And this was not a planned pickup for me, but Lego Store didn't have some of the sets I wanted for this January, so I decided to pick this up instead. And I am excited at least for the Mandalorian Super Commandos, less so for the 332nd Troopers because I've already got some and they're not that interesting to me. But front of the box shows, some action in Mandalore with, the set in action, the little speeder and the little defensive position with a cannon with the figures in action. And it seems like they've given the Mando one of their, holographic shields, whatever you'd call them. Side of the box just has the speeder again. With that orange stripe following down, representing Clone Wars sets. Back of the set showing Mandalore again in action, just with a different setup. The speeder showing off the turret in the back of it that can be used in action, as well as the figures again in action. At the top of the box, they show the figure in 1:1 scale, and you open it up with a push tab here. Inside is 3 bags, all plastic again, so again, I'm a little confused on how widespread paper is, because I've started getting them in a couple sets, but now they're not even in the newest 2026 set, so I don't really get how distributed this paper bag. But back of the instructions shows mostly all just the smaller play sets, and then the BB-8 for some reason is thrown in there. I feel you'd probably rather advertise the Venator with some clone sets, but whatever, not a big deal. I guess maybe that's just because they're both 18 plus. I think maybe the BB-8's not rated for 18 plus. Yeah, that might be it, actually. But let's get this set built. All right, now that the set is built, let's take a look at the figures. So starting with the more interesting ones to me, the Mandalorian Commandos, I guess. They're Mauls, Mandalorians, or whatever. They look very nice. This one is the more standard Mandalorian, standard Mando armor. He's got the handprint over the visor, which looks very nice. The red and dark gray look very good together, I'd say, as well. He's got kind of the new standard Mando printing that goes all the way from leg to hip piece to leg. That always looks very good on them. A very nice figure. He's got the jetpack on. Underneath the jetpack is just a red armor plate and part of a belt going around on the back that starts at the front, obviously. And then I was a little surprised, but underneath both of them, they actually are given face prints. I feel like usually, unless it's a named Mandalorian like Bo-Katan or eventually, Din Djarin, they kind of just go with no face. So both of them actually have faces instead of just a black head. So it's not a huge deal. I'll be keeping the helmets on. But for kids, that adds a bit of playability, I would say. And then obviously the little hollow shield, whatever the official term is for them, which I think works well as a little 3-piece build to replicate what it is from the show as well as you possibly can. Because obviously, they actually emanate from, their wrist gauntlet, I think. So it's not handheld, but that is as close as you can get in Lego form, I'd say. Then the other Mando is one of the Night Owl ones, so got the different helmet shape, the handprint on there as well though. Black helmet and a black base color with the armor printed on instead of I think that'd be gunmetal gray for the other one. Still looking very good though. Got what would be a comma going down on the sides, and then just different armor printing. Under the face is a generic lady face, and on the back below the jetpack is another partial red backplate for the armor as well. All in all, another 2 fantastic Mandalorian figures. I think they are the standouts from the set, obviously, as the clones are not new, and they're definitely a big reason to pick up if you like them. And they're such an upgrade over the 2013 Maul Mandalorians, and those do have a nostalgic charm to me, but just looking at it from an objective point of view, they're such an upgrade in printing and everything, and they are very nice looking. And just quickly over the clone, it's a 332nd Trooper. They got a whole battle pack dedicated to him 2 years ago. Got the orange helmet print, the standard 501st body with the blue printing, and the standard clone helmet ever since, or the standard clone face ever since 2020 with the 501st Battle Pack. So I mean, you know, they're good looking clone troopers, but if you've gotten the AAT or the 332nd Battle Pack from a couple years ago, either of those, you already have these, so not that crazy or anything. Now, moving on to the builds, real quickly, I'll get the less interesting one out of the way. Just a little, like, roadblock with, like, 5 pieces total. Got the little turret, of course, that can be swiveled up and down, and I guess technically can be slid along its post. And also, of course, you could just remove it and put it on either other end of it. And it's a stud shooter, so you can shoot it off. And it can, I guess, rotate as well in that clip for more coverage like that. And then he's got ample space to put both of your clones in here, as well as a little printed caution thing for a road. All in all, it's a serviceable little turret build. They're in lots of battle pack stuff. You know, a little something for a trooper to stand on and, you know, enact a battle for. Now, the speeder is also looking pretty nice, I'll say. It's up there for one of the better battle pack speeders, though there's other ones I probably like the same or more. But you can fit, obviously, a figure in here. There's a little control panel up top here with a little windshield piece. And you just slot a figure in for driving it. Obviously, you probably, you know, sit them down, take out the weapons, have them drive it a bit more seriously like that. But then you also take off the weapons and clip another figure onto the turret here. There's nothing to actually stud them in, so the singular connection is the turret. But you do it like that, and obviously, you know, they have jetpacks, so they could realistically stay like that. And then the turret, plenty of room to rotate all around to get lots of different shooting angles, and it has upward mobility as well because it's just on a ball joint. And similarly, it is a stud shooter, just with a different color of stud. They're shooting red, the clones are shooting blue. And then it does come with a little side box that holds some extra weapons and some extra studs. I wish it came with a little cap off for the box so that, you know, you could have this be storage and then not have pieces fall out if it happened to tip over or turn upside down in some way. It's not the end of the world, though. So, all in all, I'd say it's still a decent battle pack. I do wish there was either just 2 more Mandalorians or throw in some more interesting clones, but I think I would probably be a bit alone in that opinion. I think a lot of people are still probably decent fans of the 332nd, so I might be in the minority on that one. However, definitely still a decent pickup, even at 23 bucks. Obviously, those price races do suck, but I think as long as you like the minifigures in a battle pack, the price is still mostly pretty worth it. Though I will say, I wish price races did come with a little bit extra, so like, and they won't, of course, but, you know, if they did, like, this being built out a little more or something, if it's already gonna be 23, but that's a bit wishful thinking, I think. That's all I have for this video, though. If you did enjoy and you want to see more LEGO content, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, do all that, and I'll see you in the next one.